Hello, welcome back to Unsavory History. My name is Valerie, and today we're going to talk about how birth control gained popularity in the United States and why its history is far more complicated than most people realize. Today, when people talk about birth control, it's usually framed as a story about women's freedom and reproductive rights. However, that's not quite how birth control first became widely accepted in America. One of the biggest reasons it gained support among politicians, doctors, and social reformers was eugenics. Now, to understand that, we have to start with something called the Comstock Laws, or Comstock Act, which we talked about last week. In 1873, the United States passed the Federal Comstock Act, named after anti vice activist Anthony Comstock. Under these laws, anything considered obscene was banned from being sent through the mail. That included pornography, sex education, information about contraception, and even birth control devices themselves. Doctors couldn't be arrested for mailing information about reproductive health, and people could face prison time for explaining how pregnancy worked. This moral mindset was followed so closely that the United States refused to provide soldiers with condoms during World War I, despite claims that it would protect them from STDs. All of this wasn't just about legality, it was about morality. Comstock believed contraception would destroy the moral structure of society. He viewed sex outside of reproduction as dangerous and corrupting, and for decades, those beliefs shaped American law. But by the early 1900s, activists started pushing back. The most famous among them was Margaret Sanger. Sanger helped normalize contraception in the United States. She opened some of the first birth control clinics, challenged censorship laws, and helped build what would eventually become Planned Parenthood. In her 1918 speech, Morality and Birth Control, Sanger made what many people would recognize as a feminist argument, saying, "We now know that there never can be a free humanity until women is freed from ignorance. And we know too that women can never call herself free until she is mistress of her own body." She went on to say, "Birth control is the first important step women must take toward the goal of her freedom."